the world's greatest podcast in America. John Reed, Cody McClure. Cody, how is Knoxville, Tennessee, and like 20 feet away from me in my office?
It's beautiful, John. It's hot in here. Sweating like you know what they say in church, but I will cool down eventually. You know how it is when you think you're hot sometimes it's just your body movement. You're moving around a lot, and that's really what it is. It's not that you're hot. It's your body is sending you signals like sweat, and it's cooling you down actually. So you're really not hot, even though you feel hot.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Yeah.
that's the thing about this studio in mid-July. It does get a little hot in the middle of the day, especially when we've got the air turned down when everybody's gone. So I appreciate you fighting through it and complaining right off the bat as we have rescued you from little shitty places and in California and shipping containers in Texas in the heat. I'm glad we brought you into this nice state of the art studio and you still found a way to complain right off the bat. So that's good.
Well, there's worse places to be than this studio. I mean, you could be, for example, you could be a cinematographer on set with on an Alec Baldwin movie. You know, that would be one bad place to be. That would be worse than here. But it's good to be here. I like it here. The studio is very nice. It's just hot at the moment, but I'm okay. It's good to see you. I saw you Friday. Didn't see you yesterday. I thought we might go out on the town last night, but we never did cross paths.
Well, it's good to see the layoff has done you well because, boy, you're coming out firing with some Alec Baldwin movie references from 2 years ago.
Hmm.
You are on the top of your game. And, yeah, it was nice to see you in person now. Yesterday I called you saying we were going to get together, but I went home and laid on the couch and went to bed at about 10 o'clock. The sunshine, the water got the best of me, and I just laid on the couch and didn't do anything.
You were
How
on.
late did you stay out?
We ended up going home too. We went over to the Yeehaw place over there and had a couple of beers and got something to eat. And
It's too
then
goddamn hot to be sitting outside at Yeehaw drinking
it,
beers and eating food, I got to say.
I know, and that's what we were sitting inside, and
Oh,
so and then we went over to a little concert, little out. They were having a little outdoor concert thing over at the Lost and Found record store.
too goddamn hot to be sitting outside watching a concert, too.
It was too hot for that too. Now once dusk settled in, once dusk approached, it became a little more manageable. But that's about all we did. Had some beers, and then we went home too. And then, of course, the big news broke during that time yesterday, and everybody was just glued to their phone.
Yeah, Tennessee got a
And
big 4-star wide receiver commitment. That's
yeah,
pretty big.
that's what I was talking about. That's exactly what I was referencing there. Now, what was his name? This
You're
commitment?
you're back in Knoxville. You're ready to do radio starting tomorrow morning, and you are already back in the recruiting scene, buddy. It's good to have you back. I'm glad you're locked in.
Uh, Yeah. What was his name? He's a 4-star, big time guy, you
Tra-
said?
Travis Smith Jr.
Travis Smith. Any relation to Travis Stevens?
No. Usually it's the last name. It's considered the family name here in America.
Okay, that's not how that works. I see. Well, he's a big highly touted guy then. That's good that we got him. I'm going to have to brush up on my sports stuff tonight. You know, we got a big show tomorrow morning to do. So I got a couple of magazines I'm going to be looking through to kind of see some of the, who are the hot teams this year and who are some of the top players around the country in the game. And so I got a lot of studying up to do. So you'll have to bear with me here these first few days as I get reacclimated to the scene.
Okay, I feel like that's fair. I'll give you a week. Are you excited to be back on the radio?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, everybody's been,
You don't
really.
sound you don't really sound excited right there. That sounded kind of a little exasperated, to be honest.
Well, I've had a busy week. I mean, I've had a very busy last few days running around furniture stores and trying to get stuff for where I'm going to live and trying to moving stuff. I mean, you know how it is moving stuff. It's tough. It's a pain in the ass. I had to clear out a storage unit. I've had a lot going on, and
I
so
appreciate you not asking me to help.
yeah, no, I wasn't going to ask anybody to help. I mean, mom helped.
Sincerely.
Mom helped me a little bit, but of course, she couldn't really handle the big stuff. But she did her best, and she really helped me with a lot of other stuff, though. We went around to some stores, and she helped me with some little things that I'm going to need, and so I've been a busy man these last few days, but I am excited to be back because everybody's been very welcoming. I've felt the love these last few days. Just I've gotten DMs from people, and people know that I'm coming back. And even though a lot of people are probably tired of this shit because they're like, God, how many times is this guy going to leave and come back? And he's got to have his little farewell party, and then he's got to have his big welcome back. And so, like, I really wasn't even expecting any of that. I don't have any expectations of a welcome back, but everybody's been really nice, and everyone has been welcoming me back. So I can feel the love here. I have a little more of an identity here. I think people like me, and that's nice. Not everyone, of course. I mean, you're never going to be liked by everyone, but I feel the love.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little ridiculous how many times you're going to leave and come back. I do agree with the people that feel that way.
Ryan made a comment to my mother. Mom got to meet the new boss, even though you still haven't even met Mom. You never got to meet her, but she met the new boss. I keep saying the new boss. He's just the boss now. He's not new now.
Yeah, it's been almost a year at this point.
Yeah, he's kind of new to me still, I guess. But Mom met him, and he made a comment that he's not letting me leave again. So,
well, there you go. You got
nice.
Leverage. You got leverage in any contract negotiations. There you go. That's
good.
That's
nice. All I've ever wanted was to feel wanted. You know what I mean? I was telling Miles that yesterday. All I've ever wanted from this radio station is to feel wanted. And Ryan's really making me feel wanted. He's really gone out of this way this time to help me out with stuff. And I'm really appreciative of him. He's making me feel wanted. And I know you want me. I can see it in your eyes. So I never wondered whether or not you wanted me. But it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I was going to take credit for it, but I'll let you have your moment.
I figured you'd probably try to take some credit somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, I think the boss man wants you to be happy because he wants me to be happy because I'm his right-hand man, and I think he knows that you'll make me happy, so he's making you feel welcome so that I'm happy.
Okay.
We're like this.
Yeah, well,
we're like this.
However
you can get it is good enough. Now, by being my right-hand man, you're like in the top 3 or 4 rankings around here too, though. So like, I'll bring you in. I'm working on bringing you into the inner circle.
That's all I've ever wanted is to be like top 4 or 5. I don't even, I don't need to be number 1, number 2, number 3 even.
Well, yeah, number one's taken.
Yeah.
Well, Tim's number 1. Tim's number 1 at the whole. Because like here at the workstation now, we don't really view ourselves as radio station and athletic apparel. It's not the same way.
I get it. It's what do they call synergy? It's synergy.
We are.
It's all together.
We are one. Synergy. We are one entity now. Yeah. We are one entity now. SM Athletics is the radio station and the apparel company. So I can't say I'm number 1. Number 1's Tim. Tim's the number 1 sidekick around here.
Yeah.
I'm number 2. But there's still room for you in the top 5.
Well, and Houston. I mean, don't forget Houston.
He's somewhere. He's somewhere in the mix. He's not in the top 2, but he's somewhere in the mix.
Now I'm here in this room I'm in. I'm just down the hall from you. I'm here in what you call your office. Now, I was told this was kind of a hybrid office. It was also Houston's office, and you call it your office, but.
I put you at my desk. It is a hybrid office in the sense that the desk on the right is Houston's desk, and the desk on the left is my desk. That's as hybrid as it gets. But I put you at my portion of the office.
Okay, and which desk will I be? Which desk will I be using in the office here?
Well, where you'll be sitting doing the radio show, that's in here next to me in the studio.
So I won't have a desk here in the office, you're saying?
No, I mean, some people will bring an extra chair, and there's a third chair in there you can kind of sit at and kind of turn around and look at the 2 desks and collaborate that way. But there's that little desk there's a third desk behind you that's maybe got some coolers
that looks
on it
like
right now. But
a desk for a small, like maybe a little person kind of a situation.
Oh, I don't know. I've never sat there.
Is there a little person who works here?
No, we're all pretty girthy except for William.
I
William's not that big in
well,
stature, but
I just want to clear it before I come into the office tomorrow. I want to be professional. I want to be, I want to come in with some class, and I don't want to be, taken aback if there, because there's a little short chair over here is what I'm wondering, and I was wondering if there might be a, you know what I mean by little person.
yeah, none of those. Like I said, William's not the biggest
Okay,
guy in the
good.
world, but he's above the threshold. He's above the cutoff. But
Okay,
yeah,
now
that third chair over there, that's kind of where you'll sit if you're in, my office talking and bouncing ideas off.
in our office, yeah. So now a couple other questions. Why do you need two? I see you've got two massive computer monitors here. Why do you need two monitors? Was one 3-foot monitor not enough for the work you're doing here? Or?
Well, when I plug in my computer, I actually have 3 screens. I have my
Oh
laptop
wow,
screen, then those 2 screens. Yeah.
that's a lot. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
you could maybe stream something while you're working, I guess.
Yeah, so from time to time, I'll throw up a YouTube video and have it watching, or I'll have some music going as I'm
Yeah.
editing videos and doing stuff and getting merchandise ready and fulfilling orders and show notes and, future plans and future stuff. Yeah, like this isn't some podunk operation. What do you think I am? Johnny types on his notes on his iPhone and runs a business that way? No, I got to have 3 screens to kind of map it all out, multiple things at multiple times.
Yeah, and what kind of YouTube videos do you stream in here when you're working? Do you what are you watching over here, Martina McBride, or what kind of videos do you tend?
Typically, if I'm listening to music, I'll have that just put up on the Spotify web browser. But from time to time, I'll throw in a documentary. I was watching the Who Killed WCW documentary up there on the, when we were trying to figure out who killed WCW, some old wrestling stuff, because as I told you, the number one guy here, Tim, he's a big wrestling fan too. We're actually starting a wrestling podcast here in the next couple of weeks. So
Are you going to do that in spandex? You and Tim, you're going to wear your little tights while you record that? Is that going to be on video?
No, probably just oversized T-shirts.
Ah.
Probably just oversized T-shirts. Maybe our underwear, but no spandex.
Oh, okay.
No spandex.
You've also got, you may already be aware of this, but in case you're not, I just let you know, you've got 32 missed calls here on the phone. So you got a few calls you need to return probably.
Yeah, I got to be honest, that phone that's there, I've only answered it once. I don't really like to answer the phone.
I see. I
kind of let that be the bystander effect. I'll wait till it rings like 6 times, and then eventually I'll grab it. If it gets always back one more ring, and I'll grab it, and then it never rings. So,
well, I'm excited to do a radio show again because I know it's going to be different with us in the room. This podcast has been a lot of fun. It's been a journey, and of course, we're going to keep doing it once a week. And I'm glad we're doing this podcast, but even the way that we communicate, you know what I mean? Like we're looking at each other, but there's a little bit of a lag. Like being in person, sitting beside someone live is a whole different thing. And I'm excited to get back to that because we have that chemistry that we can really kind of get in a rhythm and get going. And like I look forward to that. That you really don't quite get that on the podcast. It's a different type of thing.
Well, no. Plus, I appreciate the walking the tightrope of the radio show. That's what I like. I mean, the podcast. I mean, really, we can say whatever we want. Fuck you, you fat bitch. Like,
hey,
I can say that
show
here.
Me those fat titties. Show me them fat titties, mama.
Yeah, I can say that here if I want,
right, but not on air.
Not on air, but that's what I like, the tightrope of that. Of what are they going to say next? I appreciate that. So you're breaking the news. Is that official? Because I don't even know if me and you have actually hammered that out. Is the podcast officially going to just once a week?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that's kind of what we had talked about that we want to do.
We discussed it, and I'm not saying that caught me by surprise or anything. I just don't think we'd hammered it out. But once a week.
I mean, I think it's important that we keep it going because I think this particular outlet, even though we're going to have 15 hours a week otherwise, I think this particular outlet, not talking so much sports and stuff like that, I think people like this. So,
me too. And I want to keep the podcast going, but yeah, once a week will be probably enough. And maybe the episodes will kind of consistently be in that hour to 15 to hour 30 range versus the sometimes 50, sometimes an hour. So I think it'll all kind of even out. But I do ask people, there are probably a lot of people that just listen to this podcast. I do ask that they come to us to the radio show too. Like I feel a lot of love on this, but like I do. And this might sound like I'm complaining again, or it sound like I'm asking for things from audience members, like money. But the T-shirts aren't even for sale right now.
Right.
The Patreon, that's okay. I won't plug it. But I am asking if you do love the podcast to at least A, give the radio show a chance, or B, at the worst, like click on the podcast plays and help us get our numbers up.
Yeah.
Like go listen live. If you can't listen, just click it at least and let it play for a couple minutes. It helps our numbers. Like support everything we do, and we will continue to do the world's greatest podcast in America, and we will continue to try to make it different enough from the radio show that you're still getting what you like here. But support both of those things, please.
Well, yeah, and if you like sports talk, I mean, there will be more sports talk on the radio show, a lot more than there is here on the podcast. I imagine.
Well, a lot more than there is on the podcast for sure. I still say the show's probably still only going to be about 65% sports, but still, it's only like 10% sports here. So, all right, without any more grandstanding or talking about us, let's get to some topics, I guess. What do you got on your notepad in there?
Well, I've been watching Family Feud every night. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to ask some of your opinions on Family Feud and whether you prefer Steve Harvey or if you only watch Steve Harvey or if you don't watch it all or if you watched with the old-timer guy. Because I've gotten addicted to watching every night. I'm tuning in on the Game Show Network now. I started doing this about a month ago when I got home to Arkansas because Mom and my stepdad, they watch it every night. And so now I've just gotten addicted and I have to stay up and watch Fast Money. I have to see Fast Money before I can go to bed.
But are you watching the Steve Harvey version or is it just a mix?
No, I only watch Steve Harvey. Family Feud is nothing to me without Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey makes it the show.
I used to like the old shows too, but Steve Harvey's good at it.
Yeah. Brand, this family, just the way that he introduces it, it's so consistent. He's so good at it. It's, Johnson family can win a brand new car. You're going to win a brand new car. I love the way he says brand new car. And it's always
be careful with the Steve Harvey voice there, but
well, I can't do it exactly like Steve Harvey, but it's always that same Jeep Grand Cherokee too. And I wonder how many of those they have. That's something else I've wondered about is, when a family wins the brand new car, do they just have another brand new car just kind of sitting back there in the warehouse?
I've never seen, maybe I don't watch Family Feud enough. Maybe you're watching something different. I don't know, but I've never seen the grand prize being a car. I've always thought it was just thousands of dollars. I thought if you won, you got like $20,000 in the Fast Money. That's how it has always been during my time watching. What is this brand new car you're talking about? Are you sure you're not confusing it with The Price is Right?
Well, the family gets a brand new car
since when?
If you win 5 games. So if a family wins 5 games. So they max you out at 5 games. A family can't play more than 5 games. But if you win 5 times, ultimately, I guess, the top thing, I guess you could win $100,000 and a brand new car. It's like, I guess the best you could do if you win all the Fast Monies. And then I guess you get a little money for playing too, just like in the game.
I would like to know how many families have broken up over this brand new car. Like, how do you decide who gets it?
Well, yeah, because there's 5 family members, and it's like, do you give it to grandma? She may only have a couple years of driving left. Do you give it to the teenager? Insurance rates are going to be higher. They might be more likely to wreck it. Do you just let mom or dad drive it? They probably already got their own reliable mode of transportation because usually these families that go on there are pretty structured families. They're traditionally structured American families. They don't have broken families on Family Feud.
Not a lot of step siblings coming on to Family Feud. Not a lot of stepdads this is dad's girlfriend. We're letting her play with us.
Right.
Not a lot of that.
Yeah, they're not bringing the babysitter up or the third uncle who's got a crack problem. It's like it's mom, dad, daughter, son, maybe grandma. Pretty.
Kind of feels like it would be a better show though if we got a little broken home. Stuff going on there.
Throw a little Jerry Springer into it, like instead of them always saying good answer, I want to hear him be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Name a word that rhymes with Ned, and then they say something like hat, and you just hear Dad go, "What the fuck?" That would be an interesting version of Family Feud. Could we play a Family Feud version on the radio? That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, we've tried to do that before. I just don't know where we get the questions. I mean,
I want to
are
do
we just
this.
like,
This is
are we
one of my
just like,
segment ideas, by the way.
are we just Googling Family Feud surveys and us just trying to guess them?
Yeah, we
Are we
play.
competing against each other? Like,
You and me play Fast Money. We're the team. We play. How about we do a segment called Fast Money Fridays? How's that sound? I think that could be a hit. I mean, it might be like
okay,
a trademark violation or something. I mean, we'd have to work that out, but you got
yeah.
the
I mean,
alliteration.
I think. Well, I was gonna say it does work alliteration wise, but like once we get to football season, those Fridays get pretty valuable in terms of time and breaking down the stuff we need to break down. I don't know if the Fast Money Friday works so much during football season.
I mean, watch 10 minutes. Maybe you turn it to Fast Money Thursday then, or something. Doesn't hit
Yeah.
the same, quite the same. But are we going to do all of our same segments? Are you still going to do that winners and losers shit on tomorrow, or we got something else for Monday?
I mean, I enjoy winners and losers of the weekend. People enjoy
Okay.
it, but
They probably want to hear me sing the song, don't they?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've asked you. I've asked you to come up with topic ideas or like segment ideas. So, like, if
Right.
you've got a problem with my fucking segment so much, feel free to create other fucking segments.
No, take it easy. Lower your voice. I like your segments. I've always liked, trivia is one of my favorite things in the world. I love the overrated, underrated. That's always fun. This or that gets a little contentious, but it's just the winners and losers. I've always thought was the weak one of the thing where they show the four dragons and one of them's like goofy looking. You know what I'm talking
First
about?
of all, it's three dragons, you dumb bitch.
Well, four in what we're talking about here.
It'd be five. It'd be five. There's 5 days of the week. We typically would have 5 segments, but
okay. Well, these details aren't that important, but you know what I'm talking about. One of the three of the dragons look like fierce and tough, and then one of them's wacky looking.
I like winners and losers of the weekend.
I just think it's a weak segment. That's just my opinion.
I think it's a good way to bring in other shit from the weekend and talk about it.
To me,
I like ranking things.
Yeah, well, we used to do a power ranking thing, but I don't know if that still hits the same or not. We could power rank something, grocery chains. There's a lot of things you could power rank, but
sure.
So anyway, Family Feud. I'd like to try to work this in somehow on Fridays. I got a couple other ideas. We'll discuss it, but I've been loving Family Feud. You want to do a practice Fast Money, just like off the cuff? You think we could do that?
How are we going to do that? Aren't you going to know the answers?
No, I'm just like I think of it in my head. I'll give you an example. We asked 100.
Who the fuck's calling you? Are you ever going to put your phone on Do Not Disturb?
One moment. Mom was calling me. Mom tried to call.
Are you ever going to put your phone on Do Not Disturb?
It won't mess things up. It doesn't mess it up. It just messes it up for a second, but it'll be okay. What was the last thing you heard?
We surveyed 100.
We asked 100 married men. Name one thing.
This isn't how Fast Money works, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It's like name one thing that.
Is she fucking calling again? Can you put your phone on Do Not Disturb?
Am I clear? Are we good?
Can you turn off the fucking the data where they can't even call you?
I don't.
Just scroll down and just turn off the data where nobody can call you.
First of all, I don't know how to do that, and second of all, when you do that,
you don't know how to turn your Wi-Fi on or off. You don't know how to turn your
I got to keep
your
the Wi-Fi
airplane
on.
Mode on or off.
Don't I have to? Won't that mess up the podcast? Don't I have to keep that on
Wi-Fi?
But
that one at the top right, next to the airplane mode, that's the one that's your cell phone signal. If you turn it off, you won't get any texts or phone calls.
Are you talking about the one that's a little half moon looking thing? I'm sorry, I just don't know what it is.
No, a half moon is like Do Not Disturb. I'm talking about the one that's like a Q-tip with sound noise coming out
like
of
the
it.
radar looking thing?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I don't know if that's I don't know if I can turn that
Your
off.
mom's done fucking pissed me off. She didn't want to say hi to me when she came in.
Now.
And now she's ruining my podcast.
Hey, don't say that. She listens to this and likes it, except when we start
Well, she
talking.
didn't want to come see me. She didn't want to come meet me. I asked you. I said, "Hey, I would like to meet your mom. Let's go get dinner or something." You're like, "Oh yeah."
She did want to come by the station, and I was planning to bring her by here to see the new studio, but we never had a chance. We were just so busy with everything.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't make it back across town on Friday. You won me a lot of money on that one because I kept telling the drive, like, there's zero chance Cody's coming back over here Friday at rush hour. Zero chance.
We were up on Clinton Highway during that time, and to be honest with you, it completely skipped my mind. The appearance on the drive, completely just forgot about it, because my intention was to come do it, and I just had to text Bear and say, look, I forgot about it. Sorry, is Russ okay if I call? And so hopefully that was all right. I don't know.
It just completely skipped your mind, huh?
It slipped my mind. Yeah, it slipped my mind.
Yeah, real fucking Joe Biden.
It was it was like somebody pushed it was like somebody pushed the skip button on my brain. Maybe that's what I was getting at there. It slipped my mind.
Well, anyways, let's play Fast Money.
All right. We asked 100 married men, name one thing your wife does that annoys you.
Complains too much.
Name a word that rhymes with Bob.
Slob.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love your grandmother?
10.
Okay.
Come on, it's going to be faster money. Come on.
Name a mode of transportation you might find in Florida.
Boat.
Is that 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, see, then we'd need one more question. And it'd be
let's go, Steve Harvey.
Well, Steve Harvey has them pre-planned, but what's something you might chew?
Gum.
Okay. Now, see your answers there. Gum would be one of the top answers.
Number one answer.
Would probably be number one. How much do you love your grandma? You said 10? That'd probably be a number one answer. Slob, you would not get many points on that one.
Slob would be about 17 to 25, somewhere between there.
No, that might be a big 0. I've watched a lot of this show.
What do you say rhymes with Bob?
Knob.
Bob Knob?
I'd say knob is what I would say.
No.
Well, I'm saying
Bob Cobb.
Well, that one could be up for debate. You might get a few points, you might not. You might get like 4 or 5.
I'm getting like 17 on Slob.
Okay, and then the other one, name something annoying
Boats,
about your wife.
Cruise ship in Florida, that's a number one.
Boat would be
and
good.
I think complaining's a number one.
Complaining could be number one. Yeah.
I think I got 4 out of 5 number one answers. And even if you give me a 0 for Slob, I'm coming out of Fast Money with about 130 points.
I think off the cuff right there with those questions and those answers, I think that you would have got 100 points. You would have definitely gotten
No. 130.
130. No, that's saying a lot when you give one answer.
The pressure
would be 0.
The pressure would be on you to not choke. I'm coming out there with like 130 in that scenario, and you're like, oh shit! All I gotta do is got to get 70.
Okay, now you got to give me 5.
Okay,
can you come up with them?
What? Yeah. What do married men complain that their wife does?
Well, no, we don't do the same ones.
That's exactly what Fast Money is.
I know,
yes,
but
that's exactly what Fast Money is. Now go.
I know, but
what do married men complain about? What do married men complain about?
Complains too much. And then there'd be the X, but I get an extra 5 seconds because it's going to take a little longer this time, right?
But let's go.
Okay.
Second answer.
Right, let's start it over.
No, let's go. Come on.
For looks.
Name a mode of transportation down in Florida.
Golf cart.
Name a word that rhymes with Bob.
Knob. Come on, Steve. You never see Steve stammering around like this.
Yeah, you do sometimes, and he'll be like, sorry. And then he always gives him a couple extra seconds because sometimes he messes up too. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love your grandma?
10.
What was the other one? By the way,
9.
See, I feel like it's got to be either 7 or 10.
What was the other one? I forgot what the other one was.
Name rhymes with Bob. Mode of transportation. Complains too much. What was the other one?
Is it something to do with a
Something I had
dog?
it was something I had the number one answer on.
Complains too much. Boat. Grandma's a 10. Wife complains too much.
Yeah, you already said that twice.
Shit, I forgot.
Bob.
Name a state that starts with the letter R.
Rhode Island.
You just used 5
That's
seconds.
a bad answer. I know. What are the other states that start with R?
I think that's the only one.
Oh, okay. At first I was going to say there's
a tough answer.
At first I was going to say there's not one, but
Rwanda. Well, you get the gist of it.
I think you would have choked in Fast Money. I don't think you would be able to go second. I think going second would be pretty tough, actually.
There's a lot of pressure too, especially if the first family member hits all the top answers and they get like 140.
Right, like I did.
Yeah,
like I did.
Yeah, and then there's pressures on to get that 60, and like some of those questions are hard. Some of them are a lot easier than others, and some of them are kind of challenging. But it's a lot of fun. It's fun to watch. I'm addicted.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It was exhilarating.
Yeah. So maybe
I'll put my boy Jack, aka Gen Z Jack, aka Simple Jack, in charge of coming up with Friday topics for Family Feud, some Fast Money.
And if he can't do it, we'll tell him to hit the road.
Yeah, like Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, do you have any thoughts? There's a kind of a local story going around. Do you know what I might be talking about here?
I think so.
Kind of some people that are not happy about something that may have happened at the university.
The Democrats?
No. Benny Smith got fired.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's kind of a big local story. I mean,
it's a huge local story.
Yeah.
It's a huge local story.
Have you talked about it at all on the show?
No.
Any thoughts?
Not really.
Okay, well, moving along here.
You got any thoughts? Like, do you want to use your platform to help Benny keep his job? Or the only thing that's really thrown me off is like the whole placed on administrative leave thing. Like, I thought usually people had to have done something wrong to get placed on administrative leave.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We don't know all the facts, Like seeing.
Like, I understand the idea of just firing somebody or like cleaning house, or like, hey, we're making budget cuts, but like, I didn't think typically they put you on administrative leave before then. So, like I said, that's been the part that's kind of thrown me off.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a staple down there for many years. A lot of people talk positive about Benny. I never had a strong stance on Benny, positive or negative. I mean, I like the guy fine. He gave me an opportunity, I guess, to a point, but I don't have any strong opinions on him either.
No, I mean, I've seen a lot of people like on the verge of tears crying about it and talking about it. Like that's not me, and I'm not happy the guy lost his job or anything. But I'm not like, it doesn't move me really. It doesn't make me sad.
Yeah,
I think pretty much everyone that's done any type of media here in Knoxville, radio, writing, something has probably had some type of interaction with Benny.
Yeah, anyone.
Like anybody that's done the radio has almost, at least come through and done something at WUTK.
Anyone who went to UT, and was into broadcasting or anything like that, I mean, it would be impossible to have not met Benny.
A lot of people like him, and a lot of people are sad about it, and that's good enough for me to be like, I hope he gets his job back. A lot of people are sad. I gotta say, though, I do think it's a little weird how, or I did at the time. I haven't really thought about it since I left, but I remember at the time, my time at WTK, I did think it was a little weird how many of like older non-students were hanging around doing like the prime shows.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a couple of institution shows. They're kind of grandfathered in, I guess.
Yeah, and I remember thinking that was weird, and like apparently that's a big part of the new rules is like all non-student DJs have been banned from the premises temporarily. And I imagine that becomes like a long-standing ban if they never put Benny back in charge.
I wonder if that had anything to do with the drinking that would go on down there at night on some evenings.
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't really know what happened. I just know they brought a new woman in, and she has a reputation for being someone who fixes the budget and like cuts costs.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I don't really know the details. All I know is like my only interactions with Benny were pretty either benign, like never really talked to me, would say hi in passing or whatever, or he'd bitch at me, and like indirectly would bitch about us not covering because I did the sports show on there for a couple semesters,
Yeah,
and he would bitch.
he was big
He would
on that
bitch about
ice
us not.
hockey stuff.
Yeah, he was. He would always bitch at us about like not covering the Ice Bears or the roller derby girls,
Yeah.
or like going in the middle of the week to cover like the swimming and diving press conferences and shit like that. And I was just like, man, I don't have any interest in that. I'm not doing that.
I go to football
So that would lead
games.
to him like, calling us all lazy. And like one time I was like at SEC Media Days that they didn't pay for, by the way. Like I paid out of my own pocket to go down to SEC Media Days to like cover and get some audio and like do some stuff there. So like he was bitching on their Facebook page about all of us being lazy. And I was like, man, I'm in Alabama right now paying for this to come down here and cover all this. And he was like, well, that's a privilege. You should be happy you're down there. And then like in typical me fashion, announced my resignation there on the spot. And I was like, you know what? You're right, man. And I was like, I got something else lined up, which I did have like more radio stuff lined up. I was like, and I'm ready to pass the baton to somebody else. Like if like my work's not going to be appreciated, I don't need to necessarily do this anymore. And I quit.
Yeah.
But then like the people that were in charge of the sports department like begged me not to quit because I was
Such a talent.
not to brag. Well, I'm not to brag or anything, but I was carrying the department. I was doing both shows, and I was like being the lead host on them mostly, or at least like the second host on them. And I was like trying to help them grow it. And I mean, like yeah, I'm pretty talented.
You were doing the Monday and Friday.
Yeah, but also I was like 22 at the time, and like the other kids were like 19 and 18, so like they needed a couple of adults in the room to help. So like I'm not acting like I was special as much as I was just a little bit more mature and was ready to work type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my only really interactions with Benny.
Okay, so we'll put you in the camp of pro administration on that one. And
don't put me in that camp, but put me in the got to hear both sides thing. Got to hear both sides because again, the phrasing was the thing that jumped out to me because again, administrative leave can't just be like, hey, we don't like you. You're placed on administrative leave because to me, that's like a step below suspension. Or basically a suspension, which means you've done something wrong.
Well, yeah.
Is the way I took it.
Yeah, and you got to wait for the facts to come in. We don't know all the facts yet, much like CNN said last night after former President Trump was shot in the ear. They said, look, let's wait for the facts to come in. It appears Trump has taken a fall at his rally, and we'll let you know when we get the facts. Loud noises. Yeah.
Trump rushed off the stage around loud noises was the thing I saw WVLT put out. But which I asked, because I went to bed fairly early last night. I went to bed about 10:30, roughly. By the time I'd gone to bed, by the time I'd gone to bed, the last thing I saw was that the glass, they said a glass from a teleprompter is actually what cut Trump's ear up. Is that still the understood story, or was that fake news?
Well, no, and that's what I had seen that too, and reported that to my group chat, and then they clowned me for being behind, and they said it's not glass, like it was confirmed that it was a bullet. A bullet grazed his ear, and there was actually a photo of it from the New York Times.
Well, I saw the photo of the bullet going past his ear. I didn't see the photo of the bullet hitting his ear. Is there a photo of him getting hit in the ear?
They've confirmed that a bullet nicked his ear. I mean, that's
okay.
What Trump said happened, and of course, I don't think that he would know for a fact in the moment. But then I'm pretty sure the Secret Service and everybody confirmed it was a bullet. So. And then the one person in the crowd, got shot, got caught in the crossfire there. That was bad.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, R.I.P. to that. That'd be a bad way to go out.
Yeah, the videos were some pretty bad, gory stuff going around that circulating when that happened.
I didn't really watch any of the videos, but I did see like a picture of like basically a pool of blood in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that's where the person died. I mean, I didn't.
Well, yeah, and then everybody was tweeting out the images of the guy that got shot, the shooter that they killed, and that was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty graphic.
I didn't see that one either.
Okay, I'll show you after the pod. It's pretty bad.
Nah, you know, I don't really like that stuff. But like,
Yeah.
obviously, it was pretty crazy to see. I mean, I was online when the video first hit, so like I don't want to say there like right when the news broke, but like the video was like 2 minutes old whenever I first saw it. So, you know, I was able to kind of be the first person in my friend group and, you know, shared it with people and kind of told them what happened, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I was also drunk at the time, so it was a little weird to read all this while being drunk.
Same. I was right there with you. We got tagged in a tweet by Billy pretty soon after it happened. That was the first thing I saw, and then I was like, "Oh shit, is this legit?" And so I immediately went to Twitter and saw a couple of accounts tweeted it out, and everybody where I was at kind of found out around the same time, and it was pretty surreal. Everybody was just glued to their phone, like at the bar, and you could hear everybody else talking about it, you know, and everybody was talking. It felt like a historic moment. Like it's pretty big deal.
It's 100%. It's 100% a historic moment.
Yeah, I mean, the first assassination attempt in our lifetime. I mean, the last one would have been Reagan, right?
Yeah, I mean, I believe so.
Yeah.
But like, you know, the Reagan one and stuff wasn't online.
No. Do you think this will bring people closer together?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're all going to come together now.
Well, I was watching Meet
the nation is saved. Everyone's going to come together.
Well, I was watching Meet the Press.
What kind of fucking question is that? Have you not been online? You've had a lot of people being like, sad he missed. You've had some people saying it's time for civil war. You've had some people pointing out that Trump called for people to shoot Hillary back in 2016 by saying, like, there's nothing we can do to stop her. Well, I don't know. Maybe Second Amendment people could think of something, but I don't know. Like, I saw that quote right before we recorded. Like, no, this isn't going to bring anybody closer. It's going to divide us more. What the fuck What the fuck kind of question is that?
Well, I was watching Meet the Press this morning, and they had on some politicians who said we need to come together as a nation, which I thought was a nice message.
Well, we do. We do need to come together as a nation, but it ain't going to happen.
Now, that's the pessimistic viewpoint.
No, it ain't going to happen.
Do you think
the only way it would happen is if we had like foreign invaders?
Yeah.
And not just like over the border or over the fence. I mean, like if all of a sudden we had like a war where people are washing up on the shores in California and in New York and like, you know, coming in on both sides, and it was like America truly against the rest of the world, like that would maybe unite us. But like that's the only thing that's going to get people on the same page these days, in my opinion.
I don't even know what an invasion on the shores would look like. I had a joke about that a few weeks ago, like just a bunch of fat people down in Destin or something, and just they're out there with their umbrellas and their margaritas, and the Russians just start storming the beach, or like the Santa Monica Pier, it just gets overtaken by invaders. It'd be crazy. I don't think that would ever happen.
Yeah. No, I mean I don't either. But I'm saying, like, to me, like a war isn't enough to unite us anymore. A terrorist attack isn't going to be enough to unite us anymore. Because in 2001, that's all it took, right? Like, hey, you know, the towers fell down. Now we're all proud to be Americans again.
Kind of a big deal when the two tallest buildings in the country collapse on the one morning. It's pretty wild.
I mean, if that happened again right now, I don't think that's doing anything for us as Americans.
I think we've got.
I don't think that's bringing us together. Like when we killed Osama bin Laden back in like 11 or 12, whenever it was, like that was a cool moment. But like, I don't think there's anything out there right now that's going to bring us back together outside of war on the home front.
I saw where somebody said that Biden was genuinely shocked by it, even though like he had seen this before. Like throughout his lifetime, he's seen these assassination attempts because he was alive, of course, like when the Reagan attempt happened, and then Kennedy in 1963, and then Julius Caesar all the way back to 44 BC. So Biden had seen this stuff before, and he took it personally. He actually called Trump. It said they spoke on the phone. Wonder what that call was like.
Who is this again?
Yeah. Hey, Doug. Joe. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy, though. Pretty surreal to see that. And the content has been just next level. I mean, today everything being on the internet so fast makes it just crazy. The memes and stuff, and then not just memes. Like some people are like, "Oh, it's not funny. You shouldn't joke at a time like this or whatever." But like the iconic images though, like the fist pump. Did that get your blood going at all? Seeing that fist pump, like fucking yeah, America, man. Like, did you feel anything? Did you feel a tingle over that at all?
No, I mean it's a cool picture.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. How do you think this changes the election?
I mean, I think it's going to make people more divided. I
Okay.
think it's going to make everything more dangerous. I mean, that's what I
Now,
think. I mean, I think
do you make anything of the people that are saying A, it was staged by the Republicans, or B, that the Democrats ordered it?
well, I mean, that's what we think every time something happens now, right? Is that it's an op.
Do you think either of those scenarios are is possible, or would
No,
one be more
no.
likely than the other, or is it both just people just saying shit?
No, if Trump actually got shot in the ear, then it's definitely not a Republican op. You don't take chances with that, obviously. Like, hey, we got the best sniper in the world, shoot his ear off. You don't take a chance there.
Yeah, that would be.
And actually, if he actually got shot in the ear, like, and the fact someone died behind it, I mean, I don't think it's an op. I think if you think that, like, if you seriously think that, then, like, you got something wrong with you. And I also don't think the Democrats are putting the hit out on Trump either. Like, if they're that worried about the election, they would kill Joe Biden first, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and
In my opinion.
I thought that people saying it was staged was the stupidest theory because of what you said, because of the fact that he actually got shot. Like you don't take you don't get that close. Like it's kind of a crazy theory to me.
But I mean, it did lead for a great wrestling moment where you get up and you cut your promo and say fight and
Yeah,
you do all that. I mean, it did lead to iconic images. And of course, you had 50 Cent and many men being played over it. And Trump's going to, I mean, his speech. Did he end up making it to the UFC event last night? I went to bed. Did he end up making it?
No, I don't think so. But I don't.
I saw that his team said he's still planning on going into the UFC event, but I never saw any video footage if he did.
Rolling in there bandaged up, like it'd be pretty
yeah,
badass.
yeah. I mean, like, no, I mean, like the first time he speaks publicly again is going to be, fiery. He's going to have some good joke about it. If it was a Republican, he would have hit me or something like that. I don't know. He'll have something to start the speech off with that'll get people going.
They tried to take me out, but the shooter, very bad, very poor, poor shooter.
Get your refunds, motherfucker. I ain't dead. That's what I would say.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
You come at the king, you best not miss. I mean, there's a couple of iconic lines that you could say to start it off.
Yeah. How strong do you think our Navy is?
I imagine they could bench press 225, at least probably 20 times.
Mm-hmm. How do you rank the branches of service military branches?
They're all equal to me.
Okay.
I love all the troops. Navy's probably last though.
No, Coast Guard would be last, wouldn't it?
Oh, I don't count the Coast Guard.
Oh,
no disrespect to anybody in the Coast Guard listening. I don't. If they don't have a football team, I don't respect them.
well, and don't they have the Marines don't have a football team, but you better respect our Marines. But now, don't they have?
That's true.
Isn't there a sixth branch?
Apologies to all the Marines, because I was actually going to rank the Marines number one. So, apologies if they're listening.
Few of the proud. Isn't there a sixth branch now? Isn't Space Force part of the? Isn't that a legit part of the military now? Space Force.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I don't know.
But like when you were a kid, because every kid is like at one point in their life, that every boy goes through stages.
No, not me. I can be honest, and I never had a military stage.
You never thought like the Army was cool?
Never. And that doesn't mean it's uncool. Again, love the troops here, but no, I never had any interest in all. I don't even like war movies. So the propaganda didn't really work on me. My brother liked G.I. Joes. I didn't really fuck with G.I. Joes. I hated Sergeant Slaughter, in WWF growing up. I thought he was a bitch. So
wow.
I never had the military.
So you were pulling for the Arab whatever thing they were doing there?
The Iron Sheik. No, that was after my time. I'm not that old, but Sergeant Slaughter was just like Vince McMahon's goon trying to stop Stone Cold back in 96, 97, 98.
Okay,
so I was team Stone Cold at that point. But no, the military has never really moved me. Whenever we had to take the ASVAB test, I did poorly on it on purpose so that they wouldn't try to recruit me. I acted like I didn't know anything about anything.
Got bone spurs.
Yeah. I've never had any interest in the military. I could never do it. Shout out to the brave people that are doing it and all the free Chargers and Camaros that have helped the people that were kind of on the fence about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people do grow up. Some people do grow up like, hey, my family did it. I'm going to do it. I love it. This is my duty. And those are some brave bastards that I really do salute. There's some people it's just like, hey, I can't get into college. I don't really have any work. I'll sign up. I'll go draw a check.
I'll do the laundry.
I'm just here to like maybe put myself on some type of track. I still, somewhat support them, but like the people that are like have options that are just born and bred into it, that they feel like it's their family duty. Those are the people that really blow me away.
I see.
But like my uncle died. My uncle died in Vietnam. I've talked about that before. But I mean, well, no, what I mean by that is like I think it just soured my dad on the military. So like I grew up never like romanticizing it. Like it was never really taught to me like as an option, really.
Yeah, that's a great bit that you do about your uncle in Vietnam.
That's 100% true.
That's great.
I don't like that you call it a bit.
That's great.
I guess it. Yeah. I guess, I mean, well, now that you mention, I guess it could have been Korea instead. It might have actually been Korea he died in, but I think it was Vietnam. Yeah. What years were Vietnam?
70s. Korea was 60s, late 60s, I think, and then Vietnam was after Korea.
Wait, you sure it's not the opposite? I thought Vietnam was the 60s.
I'm not sure of anything, but
I thought Vietnam was the 60s, and that's a part of the whole peace and love hippie movement was like people wanting to get out of Vietnam. I thought that was where all the hippies came from in the 60s.
Well, I don't know the exact years, but I think Korea came before Vietnam. But I could be wrong. I mean,
I'm 99% sure the Vietnam Wars were like in the 60s. It was started, I think, even in the late 50s and carried through the 60s.
See, I thought it was backwards.
Because that was the whole thing about hippies. Well, it says the Vietnam War gets credit for lasting from 55 to 75.
Oh, well. What about Korea? Were we there at the same time?
That's where all the hippies came from, though.
Korea?
Well, no, the Korean War was before it.
You're saying the hippies came from Korea?
No. I'm saying the Korean War came in 50. See, I thought the Korean War might have been in the 70s. I got to be honest. I don't know much about the Korean War, but I was 90%, 95% sure, 99% sure the Vietnam War was like coincided with the 60s. I mean, that's what Forrest Gump's partly about. I mean, that's what the hippies were protesting.
Give me shelter.
But no, my uncle Joe did die in Vietnam. He got his helicopter shot down. That's not a joke.
Yeah.
That's not a bit.
I know. Yeah.
Uncle Charlie survived.
Uh-huh.
Well, Uncle Charlie survived. Uncle Charlie did pretty good over there from what the record books show. But my Uncle Charlie, he made it back. I need to return his phone call, too. He's called me like 4 times the last couple of weeks.
Probably because of the fireworks.
That's not nice.
Well,
but no, I never romanticize. And typically in the Army-Navy game, I root for Army. I find myself pulling for Army.
Yeah, I like Army too. That's why I was wondering if you had a stage. When I was like 6 years old, I was big into the Army. Like, I think my top stages, what are the top stages that a boy goes through? Because like mine were, like, I feel like every boy has like an era where they like monster trucks, and then they like wrestling, and maybe police and firefighter for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think my police stage was replaced by like cowboys.
Cowboys, that's another good one.
Yeah, I think cowboys and policemen. I think I was always team cowboys because they rode horses and was cool, and like we had horses and guns and stuff growing up. So I think I romanticized more of like the cowboys and Indians than I did the military. And then because I did have a cowboy stage for sure where I wanted to, do cool shit like that.
Yeah, you're still kind of rocking that one.
Yeah.
I think once you reach like 12, 13, I think a lot of boys start to get into sports at that age, either sports or then maybe like music, maybe start playing the guitar, and you kind of go one way or the other there.
Yeah, the sports for me really took hold like in 96, 97, 98 type of thing. Like in terms of playing, getting out there and wanting to play 96, 97. And then I was talking about this on the radio last week. Like it worked out pretty perfectly, but the first full-time like football season I remember was 98 for Tennessee, where I was actually like really excited when the season started.
Yeah.
Like by that point, it kind of worked. I was playing little league football, and I was old enough to where I could do the countdown. We had the schedule up. I was marking off days. I'd gotten to go to some games in like '96 and '97, but wasn't smart enough to like really know how the TV schedule worked and when they'd be on and whatnot. But '98 really was like the first season I remember like being like locked in, 8 years old enough to know what was going on and like really get hooked in that. So like it went from like Cowboys for me into basically sports and wrestling. I mean, carried me to about 12, maybe even 11. I can't remember when I really quit watching wrestling. It was like 11 or 12, 01, 02, but the sports thing never really stopped for me.
Did you have
obviously
any friends that rooted for the Indians?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Because they always say,
sometimes it was more fun being the Native Americans. Sometimes it was more fun being the Native Americans when we'd play Cowboys and Indians. Like you come up there and you're scalping people and throwing tomahawks and stuff at them. Sometimes that was kind of cooler.
A little problematic looking back on it. I wonder if those
chasing people like that.
You tell me to be careful. I mean, I don't think.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's what I did.
I really hope nobody cuts that out and puts it on Twitter as a video.
It was a different time. I was 5. You can't cancel a 5-year-old. Well, except they tried to cancel that kid that had like half his face painted black at a Chiefs game. But like, you can't cancel a 5 or 6-year-old.
You can cancel a 35-year-old doing that on a podcast.
Okay, first of all, not 35. Second of all, it's way more disrespectful that you besmirched the name of my Uncle Joe and took his valor away from me and my family, saying it's a quote unquote bit I do to talk about my slayed uncle out in Viet Cong. Like that's more disrespectful than me emulating what I did as a 5 and 6-year-old boy running around.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Building teepees and such. We had a teepee at my grandma's house.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Well, real one, we did.
You did. And now if somebody, do you think you have some Native American blood? Like what percentage of Native American blood do you need to have?
I'm 1/12. I'm 1/12.
1/12. Yeah.
I could have applied for some money.
Yeah.
My mom's dad was half.
I think I've got some because my skin tone's kind of like, I kind of look like maybe I'd have some in me, but I don't know.
I did the math one time. I think 1/12 is what it is. But like I could have technically applied to like be a part of the nation and get some money and like be in consideration because I looked into it for like scholarship purposes and such. But like I wasn't going to do that obviously. But like my mom's side of the family is from the mountains of like Tellico and like near like Cherokee.
You could have
reservations and stuff. So
you could have been a DEI hire in today's workplace.
Did you see that article that the DEI guy wrote about Trump? Did you see that one?
About how the Secret Service agents were women?
No, I haven't seen that one. The one where they were asking if Trump being a gunshot survivor is going to wrap him up the black vote, they asked.
I mean, what do you think?
I think it's pretty disrespectful to black people to say that.
Yeah, it's problematic to say that?
That's what I think. Yeah, I think it's problematic, yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, white people get shot all the time, B.
Okay, well, I mean, he's also a convicted felon, and like, I mean, there were...
Okay,
no.
See, there you go.
I'm not saying it.
White people could be convicted felons, too.
I'm not saying it. I'm just...
Be careful.
I've just seen some people... I've seen those same things, but anyway, look forward to seeing you in the morning on the radio. Are you going to want me to have a story of the day? We're going to do just like we used to do?
Yeah, I mean, I prefer you to have a story of the day, yeah.
Okay, I'll have one, but we'll kind of go from there, I guess. We'll start with that.
I mean, I'm not planning on really like, reinventing the wheel here with the radio show.
Well, I definitely want to still read the news, That's I
okay.
like doing headlines.
Yeah, okay. Like I still want those mainstays there. We're still doing Tuesday trivia. I still planned on doing winners and losers of the weekend until you shit on it again. But I want to revamp and refresh some things. But there's a lot of the old staples people really enjoy, and they've come to expect.
Well, it's good to be back. I'm looking forward to it. I'm like that. I'm like that pesky case of chlamydia that your aunt got down at Panama City when you were a kid. I just keep coming back. You think you get rid of me, and then I keep coming back. Like Silvio Dante once said in The Sopranos, I thought I was out, and then they pulled me back in. That's me. So good to be
Never
good to be back.
can say goodbye. No, baby.
Name one thing you have in common with Popeye.
I'm bald.
That'd probably be the third answer.
I like spinach. I love spinach.
I'd say being strong and spinach would be the top two answers there.
Spinach has to be the first one, right?
Probably, or being strong.
What about being a sailor?
I mean, that would be on there somewhere.
I mean, could it maybe be first?
It depends on who you ask. Did you ask 100 married men?
Him being a sailor was a part of the name,
Mm-hmm.
Popeye the Sailor Man. Toot, toot.
I blow smoke out my ears.
Anyways, I guess that was your cue to wrap it up. So,
all right.
Listen to the radio show, 7 a.m. What time do you plan on being here? I want to set this out. I want to set this out. Here are the expectations.
I'll be here by about 8:30.
Here are the expectations. The show starts at 6:57. I need you here by 6:57.
You're like my old football coach back when I was a varsity athlete, Dave King, legendary football coach in the state of Arkansas. He always told us practice starts at 6:59, even though it was supposed to be 7. He said 6:59 because he didn't want anybody running late.
I want to come. I want to get this out on wax. I want you to be understanding of it. That way you can't say you never thought this or no, the show starts at 7. The show starts at 6:57 because I need you here because we have to set up all this shit. And we got to be in here and get all the video and stuff fixed. So it does help if everybody's here. I'm not saying 6:50, not saying 6:45, none of that bullshit. Not even 6:55, 6:57.
All right, I'll see you at 9:15. Now, should I come in the back door or do I need to park around back, you think?
Yeah, park around back. Park next to my car.
Okay. I can handle that.
Park next to my car.
I'm going to go get an alarm clock after this, so I'll have a backup to my phone so that there's...
Plug your phone across the room.
Yeah, I can handle it. Don't you worry about it.
I know you can. I got confidence in you. I do. A lot of people are, setting gambling lines. They think you're going to be late right away. I have confidence in you. I've vouched for you. I think you got it under control. But I do just want to say, my request is you knowing that it starts at 6:57.
Yeah.
That's when I'm going to consider you late, is if you're not there at 6:57.
Yeah,
and I don't want it to be a source of contention, but it's not like the last go around when we had to wait for people to get out and stuff. We have to be in here and set everything up. So I do need you here.
Yeah.
3 minutes early.
All right. See you at 10.
No, the show starts at 7. It's 7 to 10.
Yeah. I'll see you at 2:00 London time.
A lot of people doubt you. I'm not one of those people that are doubting you.
Let the doubters doubt is what I have to say. Let the doubters doubt. Fight.
Do you think you can make it?
Fight.
Do you think you can make it all week without being late?
I'm going to try really hard to. And as long as my alarm goes off, I'll be here.
That doesn't give me a lot of confidence.
And as long as there's no trains between here and where I stay, I mean, I don't know what schedule the railroads are running over this way, but
there are no railroads that you'll hit.
Okay, then. Should be good. We should be good then. Now, what about Starbucks? Is there a Starbucks close by, or where should I stop at Starbucks? Would I need to go to the one by the mall? That's going to be kind of out of the way.
There's a Bojangles.
That's not Starbucks.
No, I know. I assume there's a Starbucks in Turkey Creek, which would be easier than the mall, but that's not going to be very easy either.
I'll figure that out. I might even brew my own coffee bring it from home.
What's wrong with Pilot? We got coffee makers here.
Pilot doesn't have an iced shaken espresso, buddy.
Jesus Christ. I thought you got all that California bullshit out of your system.
For the most part.
All right. We'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See you.
Or in 30 seconds when I go into the studio where you're sitting.
Yeah. See you in 30 seconds.